Hey folks, welcome to Guitar Daily. It's Nick Granville coming to you from Wellington, New Zealand. So, I thought today I'd talk about inspiration. It's a funny thing with music, how inspiration can come and go and sort of things you can do to kind of keep yourself inspired. I'm finding myself inspired more by music now than I kind of ever have. It's just been an interesting kind of offshoot from doing these daily things. First I thought I'd talk about this, so new guitar. I was looking for something for the show We Will Rock You that I'm about to do. I was kind of toying up with the guitars I've got. I really was thinking, what would be the ideal instrument to do that show with? And I was thinking like a 2-humbucker guitar with a tremolo. It's going to be it. Plus good coil tapping. And so I kind of investigated this. I'm going to do a full demo on this, review. I bought it, paid for it. It's not sponsored, it's not anything. I just thought it's one that you guys might be interested in seeing. This is the SE version. This one's had a few issues. I should talk about those when I do the review. But I never review stuff unless I've actually used it. Yeah, so I never review stuff unless I've used it for a little while because gear, you don't know what it's going to do, how it's going to do, what the issues are going to be, all that kind of stuff. But back to inspiration. Part of the reason I got this was to be inspired, right? Doing that show, it's a different kind of thing than what I normally do, and I don't have an instrument that quite covered that sort of thing. 2-humbucker guitar. I've talked about the 25-inch scale that I really like, with a good coil tap. I think it's really important. So that's what this is about. But you get inspiration from all kinds of areas. But you can get inspiration from all kinds of areas, right? For me, it's like I take inspiration really seriously. Getting the right kind of tones can be inspiring. A sound like that's going to make me play a certain way, whereas coil tap, I just feel differently about that, right? Same with this. All those sounds make me feel differently about how I play, right? It's one of the reasons I have all these different instruments for doing sessions. Sure, can I do a session on just one guitar? Probably. But having the different instruments, they feel different, they sound different. But I also take inspiration seriously in terms of like what I'm feeding into my mind too. Like I listen to a lot of music. Do you? I mean, to me it's... Listening to funk music is just as inspiring as listening to great jazz music or great rock music like Queen, which I'm doing with We Will Rock You at the moment. And I take inspiration very seriously. Like I make a point of listening to a lot of music and, experimenting with gear to get different sounds and tones to inspire new music. I allow time for free play with, that's what I call it at least anyway. Free play on the instrument where I just kind of let myself kind of go off on a tangent, wherever that might be. And I used to feel kind of guilty about that, right? I used to think, here I am, I should be practicing instead of doing this stuff. But that inspiration is so important to me. I go out and see gigs as much as I can. Just the most recent kind of gig I went to was John Cleary. Sometimes I don't get a lot of time to go and see gigs, but I try to as much as possible. It's so inspiring seeing great music. And even music that's not great, sometimes that can be inspiring too. Because the thing is with music is like inspiration is what takes you to another level, isn't it? To me, it's inspiring when I get to play with really great musicians. If I play with like Darren Mathews, a local drummer here I play with a lot. Darren is just fantastic. And every gig I do with that guy, he does something that kind of inspires me to play differently. Then I get a different kind of inspiration when I play with Richard Tione because like time and groove is so fantastic that I kind of want to lock into that and make that a thing, right? So inspiration is really important. Don't feel guilty about allowing time for inspiration. Don't feel guilty about spending money on guitars to get inspired. All of these things are important, right? Gear, it's inspiring. And it's a funny thing because people think, does the audience even hear it? Does it matter? I hear people say that all the time. Oh, you could just use any guitar because the audience, it doesn't matter to them what guitar you use. That's not the point. The point is it matters to me. And there might be a subtle difference between, say, this guitar and this guitar. Or maybe a huge difference. But to me, even that subtle difference is worth it because it'll inspire me to play differently. The feel of this guitar, 25-inch scale, as opposed to 24 3/4. that difference in feel inspires a different kind of playing. And I think that's really important. So I put a lot of thought into inspiration and what I can do to keep myself inspired. And as I said, I feel more inspired now about music than I kind of ever have. I'm not inspired about the music industry. I think the music industry's in a really bad place, but that's a different thing. I'm inspired by the actual art of making music, and it's partly come from this YouTube channel too. So thank you so much for all of you for watching. I think that, you know, doing this daily has given me a thing to sort of work on my playing, to think about what I'm going to present every day and how I'm going to present it, and the little intros that I do. Some people have given me the feedback that they only watch the intros because they don't really even know about the theory stuff. Maybe they're not musicians, they just want to hear some music. I've had people say that. That's cool. You know, whatever, and some people don't kind of skip past that and get onto the guitar lesson stuff because that's what they want to learn about. But to me, it's been inspiring to do this because, you know, I get some great feedback from people, and I get some colourful feedback too, which is always all good. But I hope this has given you something to think about. You know, don't feel guilty about searching for inspiration. If that means buying gear, if it means listening to music, watching live gigs, sitting in at jam sessions, anything really that inspires you. It's all good by me. Thanks so much for watching. As I said, I'll do a full demo of this soon. Demo review. Nobody's asked me to. Nobody at paulreedsmith knows it's not that. It's not sponsored content in any way. I paid for this. It's more that this is a guitar that I know a lot of people have been interested in, myself included. And so I think there's something I can add to that conversation. Yeah, especially with the issues this one particularly had. Anyway, talk soon. Cheers.